Everyone needs to stop talking like Jake is a YouTuber. Jake is a boxer. Jake has more money than 99% of professional boxers on the planet. He has a full-time training camp. He lives with a full-time gym, full-time trainers. He's dedicated his life to this sport for nearly 7 or 8 years. That's a professional boxer. He's an ex-YouTuber. And this whole narrative, I'm just a YouTuber, is a really good sales tactic because Jake is a boxer.
Jake Paul believes he would dismantle Andrew Tate in a boxing ring in almost no time at all. And that single claim has reignited one of the loudest potential rivalries in crossover combat sports.
I mean, you fight Andrew. How would it go?
I would win very, very quickly.
The idea of the Paul brothers facing the Tate brothers has been floating around influencer fighting scene for some time, but recent comments and developments have pushed it back into the spotlight. With Jake Paul preparing for a massive step up in competition and Andrew Tate returning to combat sports after years away, the timing alone makes storyline irresistible. Regardless of wins or losses in their upcoming bouts, the possibility of Jake Paul versus Andrew Tate is being framed as inevitable by many figures orbiting the scene.
An MMA fight between Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Tristan Tate, Andrew.
Really, we're talking about Andrew here. Tristan's not really in this equation. That's like the light work. 10 mil for Andrew, 10 mil for Tristan, 10 mil for you, 10 mil for me.
But here's what they'll say. I don't need this for the money. You're going to have to slap $50 million for me even to get out of bed. But if you have money, then why is it about the money? What? It shouldn't be about the money. It should be solely for entertainment and to figure out who's really about it. And we're telling you.
Jake Paul is currently in camp for a dramatic David versus Goliath bout against heavyweight star Anthony Joshua, a matchup that already has critics and supporters arguing over whether Paul has bitten off more than he can chew. Despite this looming challenge, Paul has not shied away from discussing future opponents, particularly Andrew Tate. In conversations involving his brother Logan Paul and streamer Adam Ross, the matchup was spoken about less as a hypothetical and more like unfinished business waiting for the right moment. The conversation picked up energy when Logan Paul openly entertained the idea of a double-header featuring both Paul brothers against Andrew and Tristan Tate. The notion of two brothers fighting two brothers captured the imagination of fans immediately, especially given the constant online friction between the camps. Aiden Ross leaned into the discussion by casualizing matchups, putting Logan opposite Tristan Tate and implicitly linking Jacob with Andrew. Even Logan himself seemed unsure which Tate he would rather face, suggesting he might prefer Andrew, but admitting Jake would likely push him toward Tristan anyway.
Tristan and Andrew Tate versus you two.
Oh,
that's the fight. I would love it. The two brothers, that's the fight.
That
Tristan,
would be
Tristan and Andrew. Who would get Tristan? You'd get Tristan. You're more. No, you want Andrew?
Yeah, he'd probably make me take Tristan.
I feel like
because he's the seasoned boxer.
You fight.
That's a good fight.
That's a good fight. That's fun.
You fight Andrew. How would it go?
I would win very, very quickly. I'm excited to see his fight. He's been out of the ring for a long time.
When the spotlight turned to Jake Paul, his confidence was absolute. He made it clear he does not see Andrew Tate as a long-term problem in the ring and expects a fast and decisive finish. That self-belief was reinforced by his curiosity around Tate's upcoming fight. Noting how long Tate has been absent from active competition, from Jake's point of view, ring rust and time away from high-level bouts could be decisive factors, especially against someone who has been consistently active in boxing. At the same time, others close to Andrew Tate have been pushing a very different narrative. Sneo, a frequent voice in Tate's orbit, publicly backed Tate Takeru through his scheduled fight with Chase Diori. He described the matchup as non-competitive, suggesting Tate only steps into the ring when circumstantially and strongly in his favor, while Sneo expressed no personal dislike toward Deer and even wished him well. He remained convinced that Tate would overwhelm him without facing meaningful resisting.
Andrew Tate is back on Misfits. He's fighting.
He's the CEO apparently. It seems like they're trying to set something up with KSI in the future, so yeah, that's cool to see that.
You still call Tate? Do you still speak to him? I know you had a relationship earlier, I think it was like 2023, you were kind of hanging out with him.
It sounded a little gay.
No, not relationship, but like friendship.
No, we were never friends. I mean, I knew him a little bit, but no, it is what it is. He's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing.
Echoed a similar sentiment reinforcing the belief that Tate's edge goes beyond physical attributes. From Ross' perspective, Tate's years of discipline, mindset training, and competitive experience create a gap that he or cannot realistically close. Ross hinted at attending the event himself, particularly if other recognizable faces from crossover boxing were in attendance, adding another layer of spectacle and social media frenzy to the event.
Does he beat Chase Demore?
Obviously. I mean, it's not going to even be close. I heard, I don't know if we can put this in there, but Chibu was fucking up Chase Demore in a spar, which, and that's crazy. And by the way, Chibu's an excellent fighter. Don't get it fucked up now, but that's fucking crazy. So, yeah, I mean, it's not going to be close. I mean, at all. Andrew's obviously going to finish him. And then hopefully we see Andrew fight KSI next. That's the one that everyone wants to see, for sure.
Be good. Would you go to that?
I'll pull up to that one.
You will come.
I'll go to that one. It'll probably be what? Dubai, probably? Yeah. I'll go to that. If they fight, I'll pull up to that for sure. That'd be a good one.
You went to Dubai to meet him before, didn't you?
I've been to Dubai. The first time. That's right. I was in Dubai a few years back, so I'll definitely pull back up again for sure. I would love to. Mam's invited me to this fight next month, but again, we're not gonna, I'm not gonna go to that one, but I'll definitely go to one for sure eventually.
The Tate versus Diori fight has already generated massive buzz ahead of its scheduled date in December in W under the Misfits boxing banner. The build-up has been fueled not just by contrasting predictions, but by increasingly personal jabs. Exchanged Bedouin, the fighters, their press conference made it clear that neither man intends to keep things strictly professional, with sharp trash talk escalating tensions in front of cameras and fans. Chase Diori took things a step further by targeting Tate off the canvas. A viral post appeared online showing Diori posing with Bree Stern, an influencer previously romantic linked to Tate. The post implied a friendly, even affectionate connection, backed by screenshots of allegations that suggested Stern enjoyed ears company. The implication was obvious and intentional, designed to provoke Tate on a personal level rather than purely as a competitor.
But your ex-girlfriend is literally in my DMs. This new generation of people don't understand the lines. Karma is real. Wishing genuine harm on people or insulting people's coaches or doing these terribly things.
Your coach is about it.
You end up paying the price. And we're gonna see on the night.
Fraud.
I promise you, continue to disrespect me. Unfortunately for you, you're not gonna have a career after.
I'm the heavyweight champion. I do what I want. You do what I say.
The irony of this interaction did not Gaunadist. Sidekick boxing had supported Tate through his rise in professional kicks, standing by him before supercars and global fame became part of his image. Tate had spoken positively about the brand during his competitive years, genuinely valuing their backing. Now, seeing the same company interact with his upcoming opponent added another psychological wrinkle too. An already emotional build-up. Beyond the drama, questions have also emerged about the structure of the fight itself. Demore has accused Tate of inserting favorable clauses into the bout agreement, alleging that the deck has been stacked in Tate's favor, according to Diori. The contract includes conditions that benefit Tate on multiple fronts, ranging from weight, limits the fight logistics to...
My only question for you is, Andrew, is why did you want 6 rounds and not agree to the 10? Because you don't have the gas tank. Why did you want a weight clause? Because you're not big enough. You're not strong enough. Why do you want your venue, your city, your everything? Why are these the questions that nobody's asking you? We all know the answer to them. We just don't want to say it because you're surrounded by a bunch of yes men.
The bout is marketed as a heavyweight title fight. Diori claims both fighters are restricted from weighing more than 200 pounds. Effectively turning the contest into a cruiserweight match. He also pointed to a rehydration clause and expressed frustration over fighting conditions, suggesting the event is set in Tate's preferred environment with judges, referees, and equipment aligned to his liking. Diori even alleged attempts to dictate glove selection and require him to fight using house gear rather than his own. Despite voicing these concerns, Diori emphasized that he accepted every condition without resistance. From his perspective, the priority was simply getting Tate into the ring. He framed himself as someone accustomed to being counted out, pointing to a history of entering fights as the underdog and defying expectations through eliminations. That mindset, he suggested, would carry into this bout regardless of contractual disadvantage.
When you're a fighter, you want to fight.
So it doesn't have to make logical sense. It doesn't have to be something that
You're not
you
a
have
fighter.
to sit there and say, how much am I going to get paid? Is
You're
it
not a
worth
fighter.
it? Fighters want to fight.
You're a fraud.
I've been fighting my whole life,
You're a victim.
and I'm excited to get back in there and do it again. It's all I've ever done.
Chase, you don't believe him. You don't believe that's why.
The only thing he's ever fought is his hairline, man. Like he's not fought anybody tough. You were 4-3 in light heavyweight. What makes you think you can just hop in the heavyweight division and go fight the champ? You should have started with somebody easier, buddy. I'm not the one.
Why do you think I'm fighting you, Chase?
Andrew Tate, meanwhile, has embraced the role of both fighter and executive within Misfits boxing. After a dramatique cup that saw him effectively reproach X's influence within the organization, Tate was announced as the promotion's combat executive officer. The move immediately shifted the power dynamics within Misfits and intensified scrutiny around his debut fight under the banner. Tate left Romania for the United Arab Emirates and has based his training camp in Dubai ahead of the December bout. He has shared updates showing himself in formidable physical condition, including images of a visibly muscular frame and knee black eye sustained during training, rather than hiding the mark. Tate treated it as evidence of hard sparring and serious preparation.
Severely injure you. I am the guy that's coming to put you away for good.
Just like Chase, although I am going to beat you, from the bottom of my heart, all bullshit aside, all bravado aside, even though you just threatened a man with 4 children with brain damage, I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, hope you get up and you're perfectly good at it. That's what I hope.
I hope you wake up in the hospital.
Well, that's the difference in our characters, and we're going to see which one God rewards.
Well, we don't want to talk about character tonight, buddy. Let's just be honest about that.
A vlog released through his official platform. Tate offered a deeper look into his training routine. The footage showed him sparring multiple partners in a single session, arriving early to the gym, grinding through workouts, and leaving last. The portrayal was meant to highlight endurance, pain tolerance, and commitment, qualities he believes will be decisive against Diori, who holds a mixed record across Misfits and professional boxing. Tate's return carries extra intrigue due to his extensive background in kickboxing, with a professional record boasting dozens of wins and only a handful of defeats. He enters boxing as a relative newcomer, but not as a novice to combat. Some record keepers credit him with a knockout rate hovering around 75%, reinforcing the idea that he brings genuine finishing power despite a transition disciplines.
It's the biggest fight you could have in this world. Jake Paul.
I think it would be. I think that would be quite a...
I faced off a couple of years ago. Was that just for Palmer?
Yeah, we faced off and then I got thrown in jail. So we had a slight delay, but that would be the biggest fight. Jake's a little shorter than me, but we're around the same height. Everyone talks about Jake like he's a YouTuber. He's not a YouTuber, he's a boxer. He trains to the time, he has his own gym in his own house, a ton of money, best nutritionist. Jake's a boxer, he's a serious competitor, a serious contender. And that would make me a lot more money than Darren. So maybe that's why Darren's so desperate to try and get the fight with me first.
Speculation about Tate's future in Misfits boxing has only grown louder since his comeback. Announcement: should it defeat Diori and capture the heavyweight championship, there is already talk of a pact schedule extending into 2026. Tate himself has suggested he could compete up to 10 times in a single year, a claim that if followed through would reshape the promotion's landscape. Potential future matchups are already being floated by fans and commentators alike. Names like Kexi, Darren Till, and Jake Paul are frequently mentioned, each offering a different narrative and commercial appeal. Among them, Jake Paul stands out not just because of his fame, but because of the stark contrast in style, background, and personality between the two doctors.
You know, what do you think about him being the CEO? You're fighting the CEO of the promotion that you're fighting for.
A 38-year-old man coming off his prison sentence, he comes up there and puts me down in the first, second round, then I would retire from fighting entirely. It's not for me. So I'm feeling very confident going into this. And I think if you remove the followers away from Andrew Tate and take him for what he is, 4-3 light heavyweight boxer, and I was just fighting a random guy, these guys on the internet, these guys on Twitter would be like, oh, you're fighting a 4-3 guy that fights at light heavyweight, you're going to dominate him. You know, because he's got the cult following, because he's got this, people are trying to say he's more than what he is, but you have to take it for what it is, remove the followers, and then let's go fight. The followers aren't fighting for you in the ring.
Adding to the intensity, Chase Diori has publicly stated that he would walk away from fighting altogether if Tate were to stop him in the first or second round. The declaration injected even more pressure into the bout, framing it as a potential career-ending moment rather than just another influencer boxing match. Diori has positioned the fight as deeply personal, expressing a desire to hold Tate accountable in front of a global audience. From Deer's standpoint, he represents fans who want to see Tate humbled, while Tate views bout as a statement of dominance and legitimacy in a new combat arena. With Misfits branding the event as a pre-Christmas spectacle, the promotion has leaned fully into the drama, spectacle, and personalities involved against this backdrop. Jake Paul's claim that he would dispatch Tate quickly feels less like idle talk and more like he is spark tossed onto dry kindling. Whether or not their paths cross in the ring remains uncertain, but the narrative momentum is unmistakable. Every fight, comment, and viral moment feeds into a growing sense that this collision, if it ever happens, would be as much about ego and influence as about fist-hand footwork. For now, fans are left watching separate storylines unfold, each one loaded with hype, controversy, and bravado. Still looming above it all is Jake Paul's blunt assessment and the possibility that sooner or later, both men will have to prove whose confidence was justified when words are no longer enough.